Welcome to Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie, a Planting Positive Seeds podcast. So hello everyone, this is LaDonna Marie and welcome again to Inspirational Talks with your host, LaDonna Marie. So we have an amazing guest tonight. Her name is Miss Libra Hicks, and she is a philanthropist and a mother. And so we're going to dig into all of the things, all the juicy details that she has to share with our guests here on Inspirational Talks. You know, what we do here is we help people to be empowered by sharing our moments of triumph and also how we've overcome obstacles. And so sit back and enjoy tonight's show. So I'm going to introduce to you now, Miss Libra Hicks. How are you doing tonight?
I'm well, honey. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm good. I'm still fired up from our pre-show conversation. So I know that my listeners are going to have an amazing time when you begin to talk about all of the great things that you're into as a philanthropist and share some mom nuggets. You know, a single mom here, 2 kids. So anything you can share about your journey to help some of the listeners out and myself, you know, I'm all ears. So I started off by telling them that you're a philanthropist and you're a mom. Can you just share a little bit about yourself so the listeners can get to know you a little better?
Sure. I'm a mom. I'm also a singer. I'm a philanthropist.
Okay.
I, at one point was an advocate, but I put my advocacy hat up.
Okay.
It's what don't I do? Tech support, website design. I do it all.
Okay.
But in all
Jill of all trades.
But in all seriousness, about me, I started out as a singer before kids. I was actively pursuing a professional singing career. At 24, I had my oldest son, Anthony Jr., who has cerebral palsy and epilepsy due to a complicated birthing experience. I did not realize until he was around 1 or 2 how serious it was going to be. I ended up on this path because of my oldest son. You know, I thought singing, I have a passion for singing, but it was not the purpose that the universe had intended for me. He needed me to use that, my gift, for other ways. I ended up on this path once I understood how significant my son's disabilities were. Right. I had to research, I had to dig, I had to literally fight for him. I had to advocate for him. Yes. And so that's how I ended up on this path. It literally came from me researching, advocating for him, and then finding other women who were advocating. We would get together for support once a month at a library in Georgia. Once a month we would get together and exchange information. Okay. However, what I noticed in those meetings is I was the one with the most information. I was the one that was given the most inspiration, making sure, and eventually it was like, wait a minute, I got something going on here. What's this? I got something going on. And I had a lady in the library approach me and say, you know, do you have a 501c3? And I'm like, I don't know what that is, girl. Right. Don't give me nothing else to research, chat. I don't know. What is that? And she gave me a flyer and said, just go to this class. And when I went to the class, it was actually a grant writing class, and they broke down what a 501c3 was, and what it looked like. And then I said, okay, well, that sounds like what I'm doing now. So let me just go on and get it. And so a support group turned into a whole organization where we've actually paid for doctor's visits, assist with medical supplies. We've been able to cover co-pays, get prescriptions. We've been able to gift makeovers for moms who felt tired with hair, makeup, pictures, support sessions. I mean, we've been able to do a plethora of things through this organization, and all of this is because of my oldest.
Wow. Like I'm amazed. I'm going to give you this, put Wonder Woman on your chest because you are doing amazing things. And, first off, our children are near and dear to our hearts, and anything you spoke of being an advocate, anything that we can do for them as parents, I know that we're going to step up and we're going to do what we need to do. Like you said, even researching, getting together to, gather information from other people. And so I'm so thankful that, I have you on the show, because if there's anyone out there that's listening and you have a child who is experiencing, having a hard time and having, physical difficulties, then you are inspiring them to know that, there's other people out there who are doing things and they can research, and then they can even look up your organization. And so I just want to say, kudos to you and for everything that you do. And then, just the love that you have for your child, to make sure that you still give him a great life, and research all that you can. So I know the next thing that I wanted to ask is what inspires you to do what you do, because this is a passion work and also like a heart work to do, what you're doing and what you're describing.
Well, which is cute. My youngest son, Lyric Jador, he has autism. And he's my reason. He's the reason why I just busted out and decided, okay, all bets is off. I ain't got nothing to lose. Now I got two babies who need me. I don't have nothing to lose. I need to just jump off the ledge. My oldest gave me my purpose. My passion is music, but that is not my purpose. They're two different things. Sometimes what we do is we group passion and purpose in the same category, and it's not. My passion is music. That's what soothes my spirit. That's where I go when things are disruptive. My purpose is what the universe told me I was here to do. This is why I gave you this vessel, and this is what you gonna execute, because nothing else is gonna go right unless you do this thing over here. And so that's what my son is my purpose. My oldest son is my purpose. My youngest son is my reason. Well, once I figured out my purpose, I still had to work on me. I was like, okay, now I got this purpose. What am I doing with it? Because I don't know how to handle it. And so when I had my youngest son and he was diagnosed with autism, I'm like, well, damn, there's my reason right there.
There he is.
And children with autism, they're butterflies. They're social. They're all over the place. And you just got to kind of keep up with them and be okay that they like being in their element, which is the nature of the world. And so he taught me how to jump off the ledge and build my wings going down. He's like, you know what you're doing, so just jump, Ma. And he just goes on and no fear. And I'm scared, but I'm like, how my baby not scared, but I'm a whole grown woman. There's something wrong here, and I need to follow his lead. And that's what I did. I just said, okay, we're just gonna jump off the ledge. And with him, my youngest, it was through him that I was able to drop to 110 pounds. It was through him that I learned patience. It was through him that I learned acceptance. It was through him that I learned boundaries. It was through him where I learned, when you say what you mean what you say, and when you're wrong, own that. Love me, and let's just forget that it even happened, forgive and move on. So he's really given me a lot of gems without even understanding. And maybe he does understand that he's giving me those gems.
I love the fact that you said that, because so many times, and I learned from my children. I told you that I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old. And as a parent, I learned from them. And so I love the fact that you said that he was teaching you these things, because sometimes, living in the world that I live when I grew up, sometimes if the parent said that the sky was purple, the sky was purple. Like, you cannot say, no, it's blue. I can see it's blue. Exactly. And so I'm just thankful that you put that into the atmosphere, because, parents and, listeners, that we're out there, your children can teach you something too. You know what I'm saying? You can learn from them, because it's a relationship. And so you love them, they love you, but you're both two separate people, and you're learning how to love each other and how to be, in that same space together. And so that's just an amazing nugget that you're giving, because we have to, you know what I'm saying, respect, you know, our children's, the difference in them. And I have 2 children. I know you do that with your children, but I tell them all the time, you're 2 separate individuals. So I raise you one way, and, you know, I look at, you know, the other one different, totally different. I can't use the same things for, you know, for both children because they're totally different. And so I thank you for even breaking down, you know, the passion and purpose thing, because I wanted to just, you know, piggyback off of the fact that my purpose became when I tried to commit suicide when I was 14, and God came to me and said that he was going to heal me and help me to heal others. So part of planting positive seeds is to plant positive seeds in the lives of others, where there were no positive seeds being planted, and God had to do the planting in me. So now I'm the one who's planting them in other people. And so this became my purpose, you know, healing. I had to cry, I had to scream, I had to kick. I didn't know how to do it. I just said, yes, I will do it. And so over the years, I have continued to do that with my books, with planting positive seeds. And so there is a difference, and I'm glad that you explained that there is a difference between passion and purpose, because I mostly tell people that, you know, you have to be motivated to do what you do, but you also have to know the purpose of it, because nobody can make you move to do it. It has to be within you. And so, like, some things I tell them, I couldn't stop doing this even if I wanted to, because every day I wake up, I want to plant positive seeds. Every day I wake up, I want to see someone healed. You know, I don't want them to have to go through what I went through. So I'm thankful that you broke that down and you kind of share with us how, you know, your children are teaching you and helping you, you know, as you are in, you know, these same situations. So thank you, you so much.
You're welcome. And you know what's cute about the whole passion and purpose thing? When you honor your purpose, your passion will feed back in. So because I have a love for music, you know, I use music a lot with my boys. It has been able to open up doors that others said would never open. And it's because of the talents that I possess. Now, what we tend to do with these talents, and I just got to drop this a little bit because I feel it.
Okay, come on.
What we tend to do with our talents is we sell them out for money, and we never get to embark on the true feeling of that talent because we're misusing it, we're mishandling it, right? So when we sell the talent, sometimes you got to fall back and ask yourself, am I supposed to be selling this? Am I supposed to be selling this?
Exactly.
Is this meant for me to sell? Is it meant for me to pull back and understand who I am fully as a person? And then this feeds back in. But we're so impatient. We're like, what do I possess that can make me money? Not what do I possess that will actually build my village? Because the reward is after you build your village. When your village is built, you are rewarded. But we too impatient. We got to have the finer thing today. We got to have that today. If they say the $350,000 house is in style, now we got to go hustle like a slave and go against all of our principles and our morals to obtain this materialistic item, when $150,000 house is just as adequate.
Right. It was
you might have to dress it up a little bit. You might got to be a little creative, but now you can move in a way where it'll allow you to build your village. Now, when the whole village is fruitful, then you are fruitful because you were the healer of the village. But honey, what are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
We can't even get peace.
Look, this is amazing because I'm gonna tell you, like you said, we're building your village. Because even when I was back in high school, with writing poetry, when God gave me that desire, I mean, I had like a 4-inch binder, and even then, I started to pass them out to my classmates or even read them to them. And most of the time, they be like, "This is helping me. This is for me." And so I have always, a mantra of mine is that I'm impacting lives. So I'm impacting lives by sharing what God has given me, because it's language for people who don't understand what they're going through, or it's language for them who don't have the words to say what they need to say. And so I often would just share it with them so that they could have a gateway to their next level or just an understanding of it. And so I didn't mind. It was like it says that one thing that you could do, if you could do it, you know, and you didn't get paid for, what would you do? And so encouraging and healing others has been something that I've been doing since the age of 14, all the way up until now. And I told a good friend of mine the other day, I was just like, this is for the purpose of impacting lives. Like if it was all about money and everything else to me, then I probably would have stopped a long time ago. But I was like, there's something that when I wake up in the morning and it says, who can I impact, or who can I encourage, who can I empower, and how can I do that? How can I plant a seed that I may not even see grow, or but I'm just gonna water it so that it can flourish in the time that it needs. So you are just dropping nuggets. Do you hear me? I'm just saying. So, I mean, I'm enjoying, the conversation because you are, so amazing with everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So could you tell me some of the highlights and some of your achievements? And I know, we have some that are near and dear to us. So just share with the listeners some of your highlights and some of your achievements.
Oh, wow. Okay. Honestly, in all honesty, the only achievement that I can really say is my elevation, me getting my life together, me getting my ish together. That was that, because a lot of times in order to carry the weight of what it takes, once you understand that you're in a sense chosen to build your village, heal your village, whatever that looks like. When you have been selected to do such a heavy task, as well as breaking generational cycles,
come on now,
like really walking through the fire to get to the other side. Because a lot of us do a lot of trying to walk folks through things, but you ain't even trying to walk through them things, right?
Exactly.
So I spent a lot of time just diving into Libra. When Libra got to a place where she was tired, and when I tell you, one of my top questions is, how did you lose 110 pounds? And it's just like, girl, wait, stop. We're so focused on the exterior. You're not even listening to what I'm telling you. The day I got sick of my own ish, I was 265 pounds. So it just so happened that the day it clicked and I said, I got to do something different, because hell is right now.
Inner work.
We spend so much time like, you're going to hell. No. I'm here now. It's hot. I'm tired. I'm physically incapable. I'm crying all the time. I can't get out of bed. I'm sick. I am hell today. Okay. I ain't got to wait to die. I'm here today. And I got to do something else, because I cannot stay here. And what really triggered it from a physical aspect is I went to pick up my son. And remember, he's 100% dependent. So I'm lifting him and my leg gave out. And it took everything in me to not drop him. And I said, okay, not only am I depressed, I'm fat as hell, and I got to do something else, because this ain't it. Because now his life is being impacted by my shenanigans, me not being forgiven, me holding on to stuff that ain't even happening, me living in a time period that don't even damn exist no more, angry at this person because she's resembling activity that I do, but don't call me out, so I'm gonna call you out first. No accountability, just making excuses and just not doing anything but in my own way. In my own way. And it literally was a choice. It was a choice. It was Libra, either you're gonna get it together, because everybody around you is gonna do what they do. They're gonna do that. They gonna do that. So now that they doing what they do, what you gonna do?
Come on now. What you gonna do?
Find you something to do, girl, and do that. So I did. I started exercising more, being conscious of what I ate. I started meditating more. I turned off my TV. I got rid of anything that was depleting to my spirit. I cleaned up my social media. I stopped engaging. If you didn't like me, I'd just be like, okay, cool, child. Everybody ain't gonna like me. I know that. I know I'm off the edge sometimes, and that's cool, and I still love you, honey. And when I see you, I'ma still hug you. And I'm not gonna even be mad about it. I don't engage in arguments no more. It's just like, I'ma respect it. I'm not gonna snatch off a hair weave, girl. No lashes. We ain't doing none of that. And now what I find in that space is, once the universe said, if you trust me and walk through this fire, I'm going to show you why you did it. And when I got through it, And not only am I through it, I can now walk other women through it and say, okay, when it looks like this, this is what you do. Not guessing, not hoping, not, girl, I hope it work out. I can literally say, when you look at me and say, I can't, I'm like, you looking at what you can do. Because, girl, I done lost the weight, okay? I didn't put the liquor bottle down because I would get a little wasted a couple times. So I did all of that. And I can tell you what it will do if you don't, and what it can look like if you do. Because if you say you can't, girl, you looking at who did it. So now why do you think you can't?
Exactly. So that is awesome. That's so amazing, because you know what? The first thing that we have to do is come out of denial. And it's self-awareness when you have to make sure that you take a look, you take inventory of everything that's going on with you. And so, that is a great and a big accomplishment and achievement, because like you said, there's so many people that walk through life, they're guessing, they don't really want to deal with the stuff they have, going on in their life, and then they keep going on that insanity cycle. They keep doing the same thing, thinking that the situation's going to change, the outcome's going to be a change, but it's not, because you've really not even changed anything about you. Maybe a couple movements, maybe you took about 6 months off, and then next 6 months you're acting out again. But that is amazing, because we do. Listeners, she's telling you how she's overcame these things and this is her biggest accomplishment. So if you're out there and you don't think that you can do it, we're here to tell you that you can. Even for me with the whole suicide thing, God had to really tell me that, I validate you whether no one else in the world does. And so I had to hold on. I had to really go into my mind and just say, I decide to be positive, and I was not taking any more negative, things that people would say, and I wasn't holding on to it. And so I built my life. I let my light shine amongst the people who were still doing things that they have done. Now, I got a lot of people saying nobody was going to read books and nobody was going to do this, but like all these years later, and I'm like now a 15-time multi-award winning author, and have been international and all over the world. And it's because I kept my hand in God's hand, because I believe what he said about me. And so we're here to tell you, that it is attainable for you to, go through these things, and you just take small steps, but you have to make a choice to do what you need to do. Now, Libra, you done gave me a whole word today. I'm just so excited about this. So listen, I just want you to share with me. We talked about, you coming out of denial and you working on you. That's your biggest accomplishment and achievement. But can you give me like maybe another moment, or give the listeners, because we always want to talk about overcoming obstacles. And you kind of alluded to some of that, overcoming obstacles, but just let them know, how did you overcome, your obstacle, any other obstacle in your life?
Well, with both of my boys, when you're diagnosed, my oldest has CP, cerebral palsy, and epilepsy, and my youngest has autism. Okay. And when you're diagnosed, they have a scale based on scientific methods that let you know the life expectancy of certain diagnoses, the probability of functionality in children with autism, what it'll be like when they become, they have numbers, and based on that is how they label. So with my youngest and my oldest, they were pegged to not be able to do a lot, and granted, my oldest son is nonverbal. He is on a feeding tube. He doesn't walk. But when you hear that, the first trigger is, oh my God. For me, it's like, thank God. Because now I don't have to worry about what I'm going to keep in this refrigerator. We know what we eating. Honey, there are some conveniences for me there. Don't be giving me the, no. Being able to see what they can do beyond what everybody else says they won't be able to. Exactly. My youngest son, he's 4. He's spelling words, writing his name. He's doing basic addition. He's learning to talk on his own. He's very tech savvy. He's very interested. When you show him something, he'll take it, master it, come back, let you know he got it. We move on. He's defying things. Honey, being digital learning, he get bored, he logs off the meeting. So he logs out. Girl leaves the whole meeting and will look at me while he's doing it like, yes, mama, I'm leaving the whole
I'm checking out. Oh my goodness.
Those are things that I was told they wouldn't be able to do. My oldest son, he's a whole goofball. And then he's a whole 14-year-old teenager. So I get an attitude. People don't believe that this little boy be giving me heat. I'm like, no, he got an attitude, y'all. He gives me heat. Don't let the nonverbal and this G-tube and him not walking fool you. He is a whole mess, okay? So to be able to make more of what they told me they would have. It defied what they placed on their life. And for me to be able to bring out the best of them, even in the challenges that they face, is a great accomplishment, because a lot of us moms get stuck in the diagnosis. When we hear it, we're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And we lose focus on, okay, they might not be able to do this, but they got other things they can do. And we just got to harper on that and not worry about this, because this thing I can't do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that for anybody. But what we do is we look at, you know, oh my God, he can't walk. And I'm like, well, hell, now when I buy shoes, I ain't got to buy them often. They ain't going to get dirty. Look.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, that's my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, what y'all would grieve, I'm like, bet, because now I can buy you the expensive sneakers and I know they going to come home intact and clean. So for what other people would view as a, oh my God, for me, it's like, girl, bye, this is great stuff over here.
Good for me. I can work with it. You know, that is so amazing, because that's how I do. You know, you always find the positive in it, in whatever you're going through. And I most of the time tell people, like, even when I, go out through a day, and if I may not have a million things to be happy for, it may just be that I can wake up, that I'm breathing, because all of that other stuff, you know what I'm saying, it wouldn't happen if I wasn't awake, you know what I'm saying, if I wasn't, up. And so I'm glad to hear. So listeners, really, really, really listen into this, that was key, because you have to find the positive in the things that you're going through. We are going to go through things in our life. God never said our whole life was going to be easy, but when you have an optimistic and a positive attitude and finding ways to look at it and still find joy within your heart, and not, look at everything as gloom and doom, you'll begin to see the moments in life where you can laugh. I love the fact that she's able to have such an amazing, mindset around, I love my children, and, whatever it takes to raise them, and we're going to still laugh and have fun, because you got to. You still got to be able to be loving and nurturing, even though we're overcoming obstacles, even though we're going through things. And you're so right, because, girl, there's some things like with my sons. I'm going to tell you this one thing. It was so funny to me. So I used to ride bikes way back in the day, and they have bikes now. So I went out there one day to try to ride a bike, and I hadn't been on a bike in like so many years. So it felt like I was starting all over again. I'm wobbling and everything, trying, just legs don't feel discombobulated, trying to, ride a bike, and keep up with them just to, have fun with my kids. But it's just like, I was like, you know what, this ain't for me. I'm just going to stand here and cheer you on the side, maybe because it was their bike, maybe I need one for my size, but I just wanted to, try to show them, be comical and spend time with them so they could laugh at me and we could laugh together. So we laugh and have fun in our house. So I love the fact, keep that positive attitude, and always, just make sure that you continue to, look at the positive. So listeners, this goes for you too. So right now, I think I just wanted to ask, what are some fun things that you do? You have a beautiful personality. I love the fact of how, you think about different things, but when you're not doing things for your nonprofit and, with your children, what are some things that you just do for you, some fun or relaxing things?
I'm a gym rat. I'm an exercise nut.
Okay.
Yeah, so if it's not music, I'm working out. It's one of the two. Okay. Or I'm laid up sleeping somewhere.
Okay,
child. It's
get
one
you
of the three. One of the three, girl.
One of the three. Well, hey, we
one
need
of the three. Either I'm working out, or I'm asleep, or it's music. Yeah. So those are my go-tos, and music is always going to be a go-to. Fitness became my go-to about 2 to 3 years ago, and yeah, girl, that's it. And sleep, because I don't get much. So when I do get an opportunity, honey, she gets it. Okay.
All right. So, we might have you to come back on and sing us some songs. Music and everything. You over here, you singing and stuff, music. I might need you to, sing us something. I want to put you, on today, but, we might let you come back on. Not if you're ready, you can go ahead. But
oh, did she try it, Lord? Did she try it? Okay, let's see. Why don't you take me over the rainbow? Why don't you lead me into this life called love?
Right.
Why don't you take me over the rainbow? Why don't you leave me into this life called love?
All right. Let's give her, the manual, the clap, the regular clap. I mean, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful voice. Listeners, you've just been blessed by Libra Hicks. So this has been the most amazing, interview with you tonight. And I'm so thankful for those when they hear the broadcast. Just now, what I want you to do is just give some final thoughts, anything that you would like to say to the listeners. How can, they be a part of what you're doing, something that you have coming up next. You can list your website or, so that people can connect with you. Just your final thoughts that you want to add to so the listeners can.
How you can reach me, Instagram, Our Children's Story. Our Children's _ story. Facebook, Our Children's Story Inc. We do have our 4th annual Purple and Green Gala. However, it is a virtual experience. It is a free show. We are honoring people who do tons of work within the special needs community and domestic violence community. We have next week we have a full week of just activities and fun leading up to the gala, which will be virtual within the sisterhood group that I have on Facebook. So ladies, come register to be a part of the group so you can experience this 1 week of fun. We have workshops, we have a concert. I'm going to be in the concert. It's an a cappella concert. We have an IEP workshop. We have all kinds of things going on that week. Some takeaways. 2 things. Challenges. When we always say challenge, look at it as school, right? Mm-hmm. You know how you got to go through kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, so on, right? Those are challenges. Yes. Every time you ask God, Buddha, Allah, universe, to elevate you in any capacity, whether it's in your purpose, whether it's defeating an illness, whatever it is that you're asking for, you got to be okay with going to school to learn how to handle the new tools that you're asking for.
Exactly.
And if you are not equipped to handle the tools that you already have, you will not be gifted new tools. Okay, that's one. The second thing is, do not live in a time period that no longer exists. Wow. A lot of us get stuck in periods that are not here. And I'm going to say this, and if I offend, I'm going to apologize, but I got to let y'all know, this is how we get stuck up here, right? You got to be careful with carrying what happened in 1952 into 2020. Now. You can't do that because there are 2 different time periods. The moment is gone. And I get it. I have had moments where I've been raped. I have been verbally abused. I've had domestic violence situations. And if I hold on to that, my purpose will never manifest to the greatness that it can be because I will never let go of the challenges that schooled me to build me to be what I need to be to honor my purpose. So understand that a lot of those difficult times, all you got to do is make peace. That forgiveness has nothing to do with a 3rd, 2nd party. It has everything to do with aligning your spirit in the likeness of God. And when you align your spirit in the likeness of God, doors will open. A lot of that mental anguish that you have will cease.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Like, those nuggets are off the chain, and it's so needed because we have to get out of it. That's a lot of what I do with with my books. I write about overcoming obstacles, helping people to really be self-aware of where you are and to get unstuck, because carrying those, all the things from your past will have you stuck. And so, listen, she said, don't get stuck in 1952. Okay, it's 2020. Let's move it on up. So once again, can you drop your website for us before we get ready to leave?
Sure. It's ourchildrensstory.org. Our Children's with an S, and then story with an S.org.
All right. Well, you've heard it here. We want to thank Libra Hicks for coming over and sharing her amazing story with us on Planting Positive Seeds. When we plant positive seeds in the lives of others, daily. We share moments of triumph. I thank you all for joining us on the show on tonight. Be sure to come back every Monday at 7:30 Eastern. Blessings, everyone. Have a good night.
This has been another purpose-packed episode of Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie, a Planting Positive Seeds podcast. Please remember to like, share, and tell your friends about the podcast. Stay tuned for many more Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie.